Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to Vicky 3. This is episode 14. We are now with Persia. We introduced them last time. This time we're going to get straight into the playthrough. We have 10 states, and we have a lot of potential for various industries within Persia. We already have a population that is twice the size of what we finished with Ashanti. We already have a GDP that is 40% of what we finished with Ashanti, and there is lots of potential here. Lots and lots of it, including a couple laws that we could pass quite early on while having 99% legitimacy in the government. So, dedicated police force, you can see, is only taking a matter of a few months to even get to our first chance on this one, and it could pass and does. First go. And in a matter of months, everything in Ashanti had to go against the will of the landowners and was problematic and took years. This happened very quickly. It was nice to see. We have a second law that we might be able to pass quite quickly. Rural folk, the only ones unhappy with getting that law passed. But there you go. There's one thing already now with a dedicated police. The second one that we can do quite quickly and easily, though definitely with a smaller percentage, but nobody's against it, which is the nice thing, is religious schools. And while religious schools is just the beginning, it's not public schools, it's better than no schools, and it will increase literacy much faster than just having a university and slowly eking out literacy rates that way. So we're going to try for religious schools right away. I don't think we should be seeing any opposition to this one. These will be our two early laws that we try to get past. This one's just going to take longer. In the meantime, I did queue up quite a few expansions. First and foremost, we needed a construction sector to get going. I think we can afford the extra cost that's going to come with that up front. We already have a decent amount of gold reserves anyway, and it is increasing rapidly, and that construction center is already done, actually, by the way, so we're now moving at a +7. I think we could actually turn that up even. Well, we're not producing these things, so that's the problem with that one. And it's not available on the market. So the construction center is kind of locked in where it is. But you can see, that took a chunk of that profit we had. But I think we're going to need additional construction centers, at least one or two. Okay, I'm not worried about making Oman like us. They're not the ally that I'm after. And the Shia ulema already have good approval ratings and plenty of political strength, though it actually would help because they are the ones that are wanting to pass the religious schools. But the intelligentsia are the group that don't like us, and long term I need to get there. But in the interest of passing the law, let's go ahead and just take the Shia ulema. Oh, we've already gone through our first phase, haven't we? So we can lose some bureaucracy and one territory, 5% radicalization of groups. I suppose we're going to have to do that to get this law up and passed. We're at 26% now. The government administration that we were trying to get constructed is going to be done here in just a moment. This, by the way, is both Russia and the Ottoman Empire. Neither one likes us at the start, but we're up to -19s already. Ooh, hello, it passed on the second go with only a 25-ish% chance. So there you go. 2 laws passed for the good. This, with education access, is going to help with literacy rates a fair bit. It's +10%. But from virtually nothing, that's a big advancement. So as I was hoping, the expansion of the existing construction center that we made, you see a new one would decrease our revenue by nearly 3,000. Expanding on the existing one, I don't think means it's going to go an additional 3.3 thousand. I think it's just going to go from 2.68 up to 3.35 in terms of the expenses. So the increase is less dramatic. So we're going to use that, and we'll see if that's actually the case, because in the last one we never did go beyond just making one, as we couldn't afford it. We had such a small economy to begin with. I do need to move it up. Let's go ahead and finish that first rice farm, and then we'll get that done. It does look like we need another government administration building. So it turns out that it was more expensive than the first. It did go up by 3, bringing us up to about 6,000 in terms of what it's costing us. So we can't add any more construction for the time being. We need to grow the economy, as we are just covering it off. But we've almost doubled the rate of construction in the short term. And we've now unlocked academia, so we're going to be able to get a university built, which we're going to want to do right away. And romanticism is going to be the next thing we want to research. So a lot of the early construction that I'm aiming for is expansion of agricultural, kind of spread out throughout the nation. I saw that a few of the agricultural sectors were not very profitable. They weren't going to increase things by much. So I went after the ones that would, see solid gains for us and put more into the market. Of course, we are on our own market, but we are not stuck. We can trade. So trade is something we're going to have to be more active in this time around, as we're getting another government administration, so that we get away. Right now we have taxways. It's only 2%, but that means we are losing money. And at this stage, we've got construction covered off. I don't want to expand it right now while we are relatively neutral. Gold reserves hovering right about 1 million, which is a decent place to start. But until we grow the economy substantially more, I don't want to expand that further. And until we run into some sort of issue that sees a significant deficit, we want to keep construction just flying through. We want to build up as much as we can and build our economy for the long term. Standard of living is definitely one of those things we're going to want to get after as soon as possible, though, and therefore we're going to have to get some people in better, higher positions. But literacy already at 24% and growing. That's already gone up by a couple percentage, and we know that will play a factor in things going up. I do worry about opium being in our market, but there it is. It's a very good source of income, by the way. Right now we have nothing that we are taxing, so we could use some of that authority. And romanticism is now unlocked. That's one of the things we needed, and the law that we were looking at was agrarianism. So agrarianism hasn't been long. We're only 3 years into the playthrough, about to enter year 4. Might be a little too soon for a third law in a row, as there might be some resistance, but we'll see where we're at with agrarianism now. And this, of course, is kind of already where we were leaving off on the last playthrough, as we never quite got there on agrarianism. So if Persia is able to do that right from the get-go, we're looking pretty dang good. Okay, so consumption taxes, number 1. Grain would be a big one, but it's costly. Services can earn a lot without being much. And then, of course, taxing opium. There's your first one. Let's go ahead and take opium. Nice positive balance now, so we're good. We're happy. We're going to build up some more gold reserves this way. We do have some radicals. I have a feeling that might have to do with the rural folk and not being terribly happy over law changes. And that's why I'm thinking that third change. Oh, there's almost no resistance. The industrialists and the trade unions do not like agrarianism, but it's a step forward away from interventionism. The landowners really like it, and they're the ones in charge. It would pass quite easily. All right, agrarianism seemingly has no resistance and has a near 50% chance of passing from the get-go. So we'll take that. Okay, the rural folk. Oh, okay, they're in support. In fact, they Uh, they're pushing for it, so that's legit medical degrees. And we've jumped to 65%. Agrarianism looks like it's going to pass here pretty quickly. My oh my, 3 laws passed in 4 years. That's insane. Economy already starting to show signs of growth as we've gone up about. Passes on the first go. That's 4 rounds and 3 laws passed. We're getting things done here in Persia. My oh my. Okay, that did use up some bureaucracy to make that happen, though. So we are going to have to, again, add to our government administration pool. Okay, so just looking ahead at conquering Makran, and they would be an easy win for us directly. But it's about who else may be interested. And interest in the region is relatively low. Russia, obviously, we got to worry about. And right now, our relations with them remain locked in at neutral as they are countering our gains on that one. So that one's the big one to worry about. But other than that, Oman doesn't have much of a military. Kalat is also very weak, and we can deal with either of them. In fact, Kalat would be the next target. And so you get one, you might go right after the other soon after. Might as well take 2 states instead of 1 in a short period of time. So Afghanistan and the Sikh Empire are the other 2 that I would like to make friends with in the near future to keep them out, as those are the only 3 that are going to slow us down from making multiple gains. And Oman looks like they would be a pretty easy target as well. We do have enough to... term I'm looking for? We do have enough influence. Aha! Lost track there for a second. We do have enough influence to begin improving relations, which actually they're already quite high with Afghanistan. So I think they would very much want to stay out. The Sikh Empire are neutral. So there's one. All right. And meanwhile, the Ottomans are up to cordial now. And we just finished our first university as it's getting employed, and that's going to start improving qualifications, innovation, bonuses begin. So that's a big step forward. We do need paper, though, so I think getting paper mill on the go is going to be a good thing, and of course that's going to help our standard of living too, as we are hiring people with better qualifications. Boy, so here goes Russia. Russia is actively going after Kazakhs, which means, is this our time to go after Makran because they are actively doing their thing? I think it might be. Sikh Empire was not quite there. We are gaining really quick on making friendly relations with them, though. But Russia is so actively, shutting us down that they have the troop strength, but them being distracted, is that enough? Is that enough? You know what? Let's take our chances. What's the worst that's going to happen? We back down, and it's war reparations. 10% of our economy, though, in war reparations would be a lot. But we find a way to overcome that. You might as well try. Now, the Sikh Empire, they do have, relations are at least neutral. Russia is belligerent towards us, so they are very much not happy where everybody else is fine. Everybody else is fine. They would stay out of it. Sikh is at least disinterested. It's Russia that I do fear would become involved, and if they have their own playthrough going, then maybe, just maybe, I think it might be in our best interest, though, to find a way to make friends with Russia first. I do think that they would probably, regardless, they have so many troops, they can easily handle them. They only have 5. They can handle us too. So no, let's be smart about this. I think Russia would very much intervene. Say goodbye to Kazakhstan. So another law that I think we need to get enacted sooner rather than later is we are on peasant levies. And there can be good things regarding that, but a national militia is better, stronger. It seems like it's actually on the opposite side of where a professional army should be, but this actually lowers the armed forces' political strength, but it's definitely better than peasant levies. So we'll go ahead and upgrade to a national militia. Nobody's upset by that, and should pass fairly quickly. One thing I was just looking at is if this region, if Russia is interested in this region, it's hard to make a play there until we can make friends with Russia, as they are, belligerent towards us. But the Arabian Peninsula is another matter. Russia is not interested there. The Ottomans are, but we're making good friends with them right now. So the Arabian Peninsula, the only other big player, as Bahrain would be the first target there, the only other big player who is interested is the United Kingdom. So we are going to look to Great Britain. Try to make friends with them next. Right now we don't have the additional influence to work on that, but we will as soon as one of these free up. Okay, first phase has gone through, and we do see potential increase of 15%. We'll go ahead and take that. Should pass on the second go, I would think. 62% now. Ottoman Empire is fighting with Egypt. Egypt is the other one who does have an interest, so we will want to try to make friends with them, as well as the UK, or Great Britain, that is. Defensive pact with Bahrain. No. No, thank you. I want to absorb you. You heard me talking about it, didn't you? Okay, chance for that law to pass any moment. It does not. Wow, okay. Another 15% gain. Popularity for the intelligentsia. Is that who that is? Recognized politician for the intelligentsia. Yeah, you know what? I'm fine. I want the intelligentsia to rise in power, so let's take that 10% gain. Okay, we are nearly done on our construction queue, so let's get that built up again. We have a logging camp and a paper mill being built now to support our university, and we've already grown to nearly 27% literacy, so it's a 5% gain in 7 years. Population is fairly stable right now. Tech is going to get that taking off and growing, but GDP has grown by 1 million already. Standard of living not really going up just yet, though. A lot of that is we've been focused on the rural development. We've got mines. We have the possibility of mines. We want to get those things onto the market sooner rather than later, and that means we need tools. So in the urban area, we're going to have to get on with some, well, let's get food industries first. Let's raise the standard of living a bit. Our tooling workshop, which is not going to be something that starts out profitable, it does use a lot of wood, so we are going to want to not flood the market, but we do want to get some more wood going out on the market. Logging camps, we have our 5th one, that's it. So yeah, we definitely want to increase that. Let's take the prestige. This law is going to pass soon enough. Still didn't pass that next time. And there you go, National Militia has passed. I can't believe how quickly we are getting things done here compared to the previous playthrough. It is a night and day difference for us. By the way, I also just noticed that we do have some influence available again as we have completed negotiations. So Egypt is one target, but the United Kingdom or Great Britain is the other. So let's go ahead and, yeah, they are wary towards us. They see us as a potential threat, so let's see if we can't improve that. Kiva are interested in a defensive pact. I think Afghanistan is one that I would be okay with taking that, as they are a stronger power compared to those around other than the Sikh Empire, and therefore Afghanistan would be the ones I'd want to make friends with, but more so the Ottomans or certainly the Russians would be a great way forward on that. Russia is actually only making very small gains against the Kazakhs as that war has started. But it looks like that might be going a little more rapidly. Maybe the war had just started. Kazakhs will not exist much. They're still not in a happy state with us, making things rather difficult. So they are countering what we are. Sikh Empire, where we are now cordial in direct relations, that their attitude ultimately is still disinterested, but it has gained a little bit of momentum. Maybe if we get that up to a 50, it would flip to a higher level, and that would rule those two out of being an issue. However, of course, that still leaves Russia. Russia's just, not going anywhere, which is why, for now, I'm looking more towards Bahrain. Per capita taxation is a step actually in the right direction for us, and both the armed forces and the petite bourgeoisie want it, but the landowners do not, and the landowners, control most of the government, so we would struggle to get that passed. Right now, radicalism is very low. Overall support is actually relatively low as well. I don't know what happened. We got a tiny little boost. Our minus 19 became a minus 17 with Russia, so at least that has happened. But they're still belligerent towards us, just less than before. And Great Britain likes us a fair bit at the moment. And Russia stops damaging relations. They finally have stopped damaging relations and feel protective towards us, which means our threat has gone away. Our threat has gone away. So we want to get those relations up a little bit, and then we are going to look towards military expansion within our region here. Yes, okay, Russia's attitude has changed. We're also actually starting to experience a little bit of population growth. It's minor for now, but it is growing. I went a little early on that construction center. It is giving us a negative balance for the time being, but it's not a major negative balance. But the construction gets a little bit better from a 9 now to an 11, so things are going to happen a little bit faster. Literacy tops 30%, something that took quite a while for Ashanti to. The armed forces are still interested in pushing per capita taxation, but the second group that was with them, whoever it was, they have dropped out of it, so they're not interested anymore. Support is less than before, though the radicalism remains low, still remains existent. Again, it would be something that I would be happy to pass, but the landowners stand in the way, and we just don't have the means to stop that at the moment. With pharmaceuticals unlocked, public health insurance is now allowed as a health system, something we never even got anywhere near achieving in that last playthrough. This would decrease mortality by 5%, meaning people live longer, and that would help boost the population, which gives us a better working force. Now, while it's not got a ton of support, the Shia ulema, I believe, are part of the government, and the industrialists right now are not. So this would be something that would take a little while to get the support we need. It would take a little while to get passed, but it doesn't have opposition, so should be done, and will have a huge boost to create a growing population for it. Okay, Russia likes us now, so I think it's about time that we have a look at Macron with an army projection of 5. We have that covered. We have that covered quite easily. Oh, hello, Great Britain. now interested in the region. Russia is no longer interested in the region, so maybe they got what they wanted, and that could be why they're no longer a threat. But Afghanistan, the Sikh Empire, are not a threat to us. They both like us. Great Britain likes us. Therefore, we're going to try. We are going to try for Macron. We'll see how this goes. Everybody else likes us. Let's see what happens. Will they stay out of it? Sikh Empire would actually be interested in joining us. They are fearful. They want war reparations. Leaning their way is Afghanistan and Oman. Afghanistan would put together a decent military. So if they join, then we just try to get the Sikh Empire on our side. We might be able to have Afghanistan beat anyway. Kalat joins them, but they don't have much of a military, so we are okay with Kalat. Let's make sure that they do have a power projection of 72, so they are actually decent. I'm guessing our power projection is actually, it's only 100. It's only 100. It's not great. Escalation continues, and Afghanistan does join. So, on the fence, Oman. Oh, Oman is leading their way as well. Oh no. They don't want to... They're not going to be swayed anymore? Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming. I should have gotten them in the play early. Now, if we up our military... Right now, we'd be paying a good bit to Macron to not attack them right now. And yet, Kalat and Afghanistan aren't a big threat. But Afghanistan, yeah, power projection of 116. For a cost to switch from a regular to line infantry, it would be expensive up front. However, we do have the ability to bring in more cash. So let's do it. We're going to upgrade that. And that should up our power projection quite quickly here. Add some consumption taxes to cover this off, like services. There you go. Yeah, see, we've just about got all of our debt covered now. Power projection is now a 200. That is definitely stronger than the culminating parts of our enemies. Again, Macron, power projection of 4. Kalat, a 72, so that's a 76. Afghanistan, 116. All right, if Afghanistan is turning themselves into our enemy, and as well Baluchistan, they are now opening them up to being added as war goals. So conquering Baluchistan, we're going to go ahead and add that. 15 more. This would add a lot of infamy to take all 3 nations at once, but what a gain that would be. 4 additional states brought in. We'd have most of the larger state of Persia in our control. Alright, we are mobilizing our general. Mobilization instantly comes at a cost, but we have some big time reserves. Cannon and artillery is available for us. I think we might make a switch to this, even though it's expensive and our input level would be low, but the additional... This is going to get expensive, folks. But this is war, and this is the war to conquer so much of the territory that is available to us, and as those 3 have stepped up, we're nearly into the final phase where nobody else is coming into this one, and we only have the tiniest of an edge. Then we're going to need those conscripts. Means first things first, bigger conscripts. No, let's not all do it all at once. We're going to keep them just available to us. I think we might need at least a few in reserve. Let's take like 5. just so we have a little bit of reserves. We will start defensively, as defense is better than offense. Hopefully that works out for us. Mobilization at 80% right now. And I do think we need to get into our construction. Wartime economy. Do we want to cancel that one as well? Yeah, 40 weeks. Wartime economy. Alright, you can see we are spread out on one larger front here. Do I want to get an additional general so that we can kind of take individual fronts, like adding in troops here? You can beat those 4, knock them back, take that territory, then add in here and beat them back, and then just kind of hold off Afghanistan in the meantime. Eliminate the other 2, and then consolidate on and defeat. No additional maneuvers remaining right now, so it looks like we're not going to get eastern Afghanistan. Afghanistan will still exist, but that would be all that's left. But right now we can take 3 states and greatly weaken Afghanistan. You could have been my friend. I wanted you to be my friend, Afghanistan. I think we want to activate a few more conscripts. Okay, he can handle 61 troops himself. But technically it's, you know, it could be 3 fronts. I think we could benefit from... Okay, I like this one. Alright, we recruit a 2nd general. And this will hopefully, just in case Oman decides they want to get involved, that's going to help out with that situation. Now, see, here's that thing. If he has 9 mobilized units, if we can put them on the Makran, just the Makran portion. All or nothing, folks. Going big early on. Not enough maneuvers for that last war goal, but that's fine. That is fine. I really would have liked to get the Sikh Empire on our side, but the UK has opted out, so I think our war might be on here in a moment. There it is. War has broken out. War has broken out. And war reparations is all they're after, so if we do lose, it's not bad. Okay. Apparently we are at a disadvantage, but we are playing defense. Is it really that bad? Why is our defense only a 10? We are not quite done mobilizing, for one thing. Yeah, I'm not sure why our defense is so weak. Okay, this is not looking good. We need to... We need to activate a lot more conscripts. And I think we need a 3rd general. It's now seeing that okay, so instantly we're not kind of where we need to be and are losing very, very rapidly, especially in the south. Alright, all conscripts active. Slow down the advance. Public health insurance passed in the meantime. I don't know why our defense is so weak. I wonder if we need to just start going on the offensive. We are supposed to be stronger than they are. Alright, we are finally starting to equalize number-wise, and may be able to start pushing back on this front. Alright folks, the first phase of the war went horribly wrong as we lost a ton of ground, but I'm starting to figure out where I was going wrong with that, as I didn't properly have all three fronts covered. Now I have 3 generals on 3 fronts. I don't know why we are so weak on defense and only strong on offense, but our power projection is only slightly better than theirs. We are getting in a state where we have more troops than they do, and our troops should be as strong, if not stronger, than theirs. Therefore, I still believe we can turn this thing around. We are gaining an advantage on 2 fronts, so I'm going to start trying to push back on those as soon as possible. I think we have to kind of get through the current engagement before we can change from defensive to offensive, but that seems to be the way we are going to need to play this, as we are weaker on defense than we are on offense. And even though numerically our odds seem better if we are attacking than defending, in real life that's not how that should play, but for whatever reason we have an offensive set of units, therefore we need to utilize that. We need to take to that. We have a lot of units that are mobilizing that are going to join the front, and especially on this southern front in particular, they don't have additional troops to commit. They have what they have. So as we mobilize, we're only going to get stronger, and if we go offensive against them, it's going to turn in our favor. So if we push them back and conquer them, I think one by one we can take these guys out. It's not over yet, but the episode is. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.